I like to thank the grace of heaven, the virtues of the masters, and mercy of predecessors, transmitters, lecturers, temple masters, for giving me this opportunity to talk about the New York, wow, that's big, the New York scripture, Holy Teacher's scripture. I think it's, wait, hold on, let's go up front. Where we left off, up here, right? Something like that, right? Okay, yeah, right here. Okay, so we already talked about this?
No.
He did. He covered the
Okay,
first
basically,
one.
yeah.
But
Basically,
it's okay, you covered it.
well, I mean, basically, it's this is the summary. Okay, you can say summarizing. Basically, Holy Teacher, right? Holy Teacher is saying, telling us that this is a very good, it's a propitious time, right? In this Dharma ending age, right? 末法时期, right? It's Dharma ending age. Yeah, so there's a but there's a story behind that, but we can talk about that later. So in this period, in this Dharma ending age, or this age, this is still a very propitious time, very precious, very time, because we can we have now this opportunity to create a brand new, you can say future, prospect, better future prospect, even though it may not seem like it now, okay? But partly, part of the reason is because, we also have the universal salvation of the three realms, etc. And that, and why is it precious? Why is it precious? I mean, everybody know? I mean, because the Tao is open. It's openly propagated, right? That's unlike 100 years ago, probably almost none of us probably would have the opportunity to hear of the Tao. At least 100 years ago, maybe since it's 19 in the 1800s, let's just say before 1900, it would be very unlikely, right? Because we all heard the story in the Dharma class. You all heard the story of the 16th patriarch, right? Look how difficult not how difficult, but how unusual, you can say, how unusual he was able to receive the Tao, right? It was through a dream and all that stuff, right? So it's not easy, right? I mean, those dreams don't happen to everybody, right? So imagine in those days, if we were in those days, it's not really a propitious time for us, right? A good opportunity. So that's the second line too, right? 珍惜修道的机会. Now that also, because Tao is now openly spread, openly being talked about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a good opportunity to also cultivate, right? You have more chances or more places or more people, right, to cultivate. So then we can Then build a foundation or forge, you can say build, 打造, yes, to attain Buddhahood, okay? All right? And then we also, that we all know that we are mortals, right? Mortals, right? I.e., we have a beginning and end, right? So our life has limits, in our lifespan. That's what I mean. Lifespan has limits. So we better make use of that limited lifespan, right? To to create a more worthy life, a more satisfactory life, a more beautiful life, okay? A better life, okay? All those, okay? That's what that 圆满, right? Okay, 圆满 literally means perfect. It could say perfect, but satisfactory, better, beautiful, complete, expansive, all that. All right, those last week we talked about the 12 relinquishments, all that, all the very the last phrase of those 12 sentences, right? Okay, so all right, okay, and also even though our lifespan may be limited, that's true, okay, but we also have affinities, okay, you say karma, yeah, part of karma. We have affinities, karmic affinities, right? Really, I mean, if you want to be technical, it's karmic affinity, okay? We should also, believe it or not, cherish it. Don't run away from it. Don't how can I say, ignore them, stuff like that, okay? Rather, we should be willing to embrace everything, right? Embrace, right? Remember last week in the 12th, not in the 12th, sorry, in the San Diego Dharma class, handwriting, right? They say we should accommodate all affinities, right? Accommodate all, you know, good and bad, right? Accommodate good and bad stuff. Okay, and the reason why we can accommodate or cherish all affinities is because that's an opportunity also for us to transform or change our life, our fate, our destiny. Okay, we can because why? Because now the Tao is openly being spread, and also we have the opportunity to openly practice it. Okay, all right. So it's no longer hidden. Okay, and this is holy teacher coming to the under God's authority mandate. He's arrived. He's arriving at this temple, making obedience and asking us how we are. Okay, and then these are the God's, you can say Heavenly Mother's instructions. Okay, so basically it's the three salvation, right? The salvation of the third era is at hand. That's the universal salvation. Part of that is that 三起收圆. 收圆means literally means to harvest. Literally, that's what it means. It just means that it's the period to. It's like the beginning of the end. You can say that. The period where it's time to harvest the seeds that's been planted in the previous eras, right? In the red, green, etc. Right? In the previous eras. Okay, all right. So that's why the you can say the period of salvation of this era is at hand. Yeah, right. It's and then we should what? We should calm down, still our heart and mind, and do not, right? This means do not, right? Okay. 本次 means literally it means like a horse that's galloping around quickly, or things that's running around quickly. You're running around, you're running at full speed, the train running at full speed, stuff like that. Literally, that's what it means. So what it means is that because our hearts and minds are always active, are always thinking one thought after another, right? String of continuous thoughts, endless. As long as we're awake, even when we're not awake, we dream or we do whatever. I don't know, whatever. So basically, it means holy teacher saying, stop that, stop our minds from running around, from going wild. Okay, so that's why you can say do not give rise to thoughts, right? Okay, 一念不生, same idea. Okay, why? Because the more we think, the more we suffer. Okay, the more I'm skipping actually. The sequences that later on we talk about the 三息, right? The three refined or subtle conceptions. Okay, that's what generates our thoughts. The 三息, okay, 三系 详细的系, okay, 三系, okay, and it's those thoughts. The generation of those thoughts or the precursor, it really creates karma. Okay, so that's why we suffer. Okay, whenever we create some karma, we'll suffer. Okay, all right. So then the next line is basically means do not fall into the two sides. Literally, that's what this means. Literally, it just means don't fall into duality. To anybody heard of 能所, right? That's 能所. That's subject-object duality. Okay. Now, 方为是. That's the 方 means the method. You can say method, or something that's proper. That's proper, and that 为是 means it's the proper way. You can say it is such. That is the proper way, or such is the proper way. Okay. All right. It's not to what? Fall into this dualism. Okay, if you know if we are in the glossary list, right, of the Buddha nature class, right, there is the have you guys seen have you looked at it and looked at what's that 五力士, the 5 keen sharp views. Okay, right? The second one is 偏见, right? That means extreme views. Okay, that's an example. I'm just saying using that's an example. Okay, so don't don't we cannot do that. If we fall into these extreme views, we take sides or duality, then we will still get caught up in samsara. Get it? Okay, that's not the path to enlightenment. Okay, or to so if you want to reincarnate and whatever, yeah, then go right ahead, then do that, then continue to do that. That's all result of causality. That's all due to causality. All right. Okay. So all right. Okay. And then here's the last one is basically, okay, 有无惧, right? 有无惧潜伏本质, right? Okay. 有 means have, to have, and 无 means not to have. Okay. All right. Or you can say to have, or you can say existence, non-existence. Basically, this is duality. Okay. That's what we're trying to point out from the previous line, right? The two extremes, right? The two extremes. One is to have, and the other one is not to have, right? One is existence, the other one's non-existence, right? Etc. So 具 literally means tool, or in this case, ability. It just means it's not a quantifier. It's an object of 有无, I guess. That means whatever things we have or we don't. I mean, we and then 欠 means to get rid of. Dispel. You can say dispel. Yeah, get rid of these dualities. That's what basically said. And then this means to return or to restore in this case. I mean, it can mean both things. This means literally it means our original character, you can say, right? Or quality, characteristic, whatever, quality. So it basically is to restore our innate character, or our original character, which is what? Our Buddha nature, our true nature, right? Instead of our dualistic nature. Because why? Buddha nature is what? Absolute, right? It has no beginning, no end, right? It has no such thing as extreme views, right? There's no such thing, because then that means it's not absolute, right? Okay, so that's what I mean. Okay, so basically, this is also basically summarizes everything too. So for the rest, but okay, and then what the underlying words are? I can't do this vertical. Okay, it doesn't matter. I have to use control, right? Control. I have to use control. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, that means the three minds or hearts don't have the three minds. Anybody want to know what the three minds are? Look it up in this list. Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Well, yeah. They're different. Actually, if you look it up in the Buddhist lexicon dictionary, they have different groupings. But this is one of them. Yeah, Sanxin. Yeah, there are other type, different based on the different schools of Buddhism, branches of Buddhism. They have three different groupings. But this is one grouping. That's the three minds. The official one is called 三四心. It should be 三四心. That's more specific. The mind of the three worlds, or something like that. Literally, that's what it translates at. It's in here. It's in page 1. Okay, it's in page 1. It's in page 1 in the middle of the Buddha nature thing, right? Okay, the Buddha nature glossary. All right. Okay. So why? It's interesting that holy teacher talk about don't have the three minds, because in the later on in the scripture he'll talk about why not. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go to the scripture, to the main text. It basically says, okay, God's good children, right? We should listen wholeheartedly or carefully, right, to God's heartfelt. Yeah, you can say heartfelt. That means God was how can I say this word, right? This word, right? Yeah. From the depths of his heart. That's literally what it means. Okay, basically, God really means it. In other words, okay? All right? So that's what it means, okay? So listen carefully. Okay. So this is, right? This is the true meaning of life, right? The true meaning of life is what? Just is just in what? Okay, now this word literally it could mean knowledge. It could literally means to recognize, to understand. Okay, it means all those things, to recognize, to understand, to that. Okay, then this is interesting. 得一 to literally it means to receive this one. You know, literally that's what it means, right? 得一 to receive the one. So I would like to say, yeah, it's a knowing, that's true. Okay, you can say it's knowing. But this knowing is not book learning, book knowing. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay, it's from knowing from within. Actually, it's to know by not learning. It's interesting, right? It's very interesting. It's to know by not learning it. It's kind of right oxymoron, right? People say, well, how do I know something if I don't learn about it? right? I mean, right? It's oxymoron, right? So, and here's why. Because why? Our Buddha nature is already innate in all of us. You don't have to go outside to get it. You don't have to read about it. Oh, I read that there's this Buddha nature in all of us. That's just knowledge. So before you read that book, that means you don't know it, right? Because only after you read it, then you say, oh yeah, I have a Buddha nature. Then that means if you didn't read it to the 10 billion plus people in the past, they never read it, so they don't have it, right? That's wrong. They all had it. They just don't realize it. They just don't know it innately. Get it? Okay? All right? That's what it means. Okay? And also this 得意 also means, well, it could mean that we also received the first treasure, but that's okay. Okay? It could also mean that too. All right? Okay? So the true meaning of life is to what? Receive the Tao. Receive the three treasures, especially the first treasure. Not receive literally, but to let us know what the be aware is better. Realize, oh, that's my first treasure. Ooh, I know it. I now have it. Not have it. I now know it, so I can go back, right? So I mean, you can say 得意 is also to receive the first treasure, but that's another. Okay, that's being more narrow. Okay, broader is to realize the one. Yeah, you can say, because if you realize the one, you become enlightened, and then Buddha will open that door for you. Okay, so all right. So that's what right, happened to Siddhartha, right? Because that time they didn't have. The transmitting masters are far and few, right? And those are what called pass on individually, right? 单传, right? So anyway, but doesn't matter. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, then the next sentence is, this is very interesting. Remember I talk about the thoughts, right? Okay, so why thoughts will create. Remember it goes up to here, right? Do not give rise to thoughts, right? Why is that, right? Okay, so because thoughts will create what? Karma. Right? Believe it or not. And here's why. Here's what it is. It says 一念不觉起, right? That means 不觉 means you can say it's ignorant, unenlightened, right? Gives rise, right? Gives rise, 起 gives rise to a thought. So, right? Literally, that's what it means. A thought, okay? So you can say a spark of unenlightened thought. Okay, that's a poetic way of saying it, right? Okay? And then what happens? Gives rise to what? The three, 形成 means it comes to be, comes into being, comes into being, right? The what? The three what? It's called the three subtle conceptions. Okay, so I added here, I added in your list, it's on page 2, okay, of the new glossary list, okay? And what are the three subtle conceptions? It's unenlightened condition, all right? I mean, it's more definitively, you don't have it, Gene, because it's not, you don't have the latest one. It's in here, page 2, okay? Yeah, it's called ignorance or enlightenment which is considered the primal action or the the initiator. You can say the initiator, right? The primal action, or the stirring of the perceptive faculty. Okay, that's which initiates the creation. I didn't have room in here, but which starts the creation of, believe it or not, karma. Okay, so in Chinese it's called 无明业相. All right, 无明业相. Ye means karma. Okay, 相 you can say it's a form, or image, form, mark, image. Okay, so and then the second one is once you have that stirring of the faculty of perception, then next step is you gain the ability to perceive phenomena. That's called 能见相. 能 means able. Okay, 能所的能. Okay, ability, you can say ability, capable of, ability to perceive what? Forms. 能见 means to see, to perceive. 相 forms. Okay, that's the next step. Then the third step is the perception of objects or the empirical world, or actually it's the objective illusory world. That's another definition of it. It's called 境界相. 境界 Jing literally means boundary. Yeah, 境界 boundary. Situation. Yeah, boundary. 界 means realm. So you can see the forms. You can see actually the objects. Maybe that's a better term. The objects, but they're all illusory, by the way, because what happens is in these first three steps, okay, it's all within our minds. You know that? It's all within our minds, believe it or not. Yeah. So that's very interesting. It's all still within our minds. You know that? Yeah. That's why it's called the three subtle conceptions. Okay. I mean, so it's really subdividing our thought process even further. You know what I'm trying to say? Or our perception faculty process. Understand? Okay. So this could be either through eyesight, hearing, smelling, touching. Okay. All those senses. Okay. It imply actually it's the second one. The first one is you can say it's the thought. Okay. The second one, ability to perceive phenomena, is like our six senses. Okay. We have the six senses, right? We can have perception through the six senses. And then the third one is like the six objects. When the six senses go out, focus outward, you'll encounter something, right? I mean, okay. So in here, actually, there's a subject object in here, but I'm gonna say it's like a subject object in here, okay? And so that's why you should download the latest one, because I get more detailed definitions. It says really the first one, right? The first perception. I mean, the first step. That first step, the stirring of the perceptive faculty, is actually associated with what? With what? Associated with what? Human mind. Well, yes, it's part of the human mind, but we're separating. I mean, we're how can I say? We're drilling a little bit deeper. We're kind of, like splitting it up, right? Okay. It actually refers to the T, the substance. Okay, 本体. Okay, it actually refers to that because it's with the 本体, then you can have that. You get it? So that's why a robot example. Yeah, robot has perception, right? He can, right? He can sense, right? You have driverless cars and all that stuff, right? They can sense, but they don't have this. They have this. They have these two. Okay? We'll talk. They don't have this because they don't have 本体. They don't have an essence. Okay? Very important. Okay, so believe it or not, all karma is created from our essence. Believe it or not, it's true. It is. Okay. So the first one refers to the T, okay, or essence. Okay, I have it in here. Okay, I should have written the Chinese substance T, but that's okay. Okay, then the second one, The second and third, believe it or not, you know what the second and third is? They're just function. That's the 用, the function aspect. Get it? So you have the what? Essence or the 本体, right? 体.
Third one maybe it's the manifestation.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna go into more detail, but it's the but these are the functions. Okay, yeah. You can say you can say 用跟现 or 现 means manifestation, manifestation, appearance. It could mean appearance. Okay, so the second, okay, but the second one is really your function. Okay, the function, and then the third one is the result of the function. Okay, which is the 现, right? The 现. So you have the three in here already. Okay, so the mind, within our minds already, you have the three, right? We have the three. All right. Okay. So that's really, if you want to go in more detail, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So basically, the second and third are like the results, the function and the results. Okay. All right. And but here's another thing. These three all have to go together. Believe it or not, they have to. Okay. They have to. That's what. Okay. And here's why. It's like saying, the first one is like saying it's water, right? And then the second and third are like the waves. Get it? The waves, the ripples, whatever you want to call it, currents, whatever, tides, up, high tide, low tide, whatever. Okay? So those two go together. They coexist, in other words. Okay? Okay? And that's why we create what? Karma. Because there's duality now. Get it? There's duality. See, you could just have the first one. I mean, not the first one, sorry, the essence. But as long as you don't have that thought or that stirring, that's what I'm saying. That's why we say we have to be what? 静, right? Tranquil, still, stillness. Remember? Stillness, right? Because our essence is innately, maybe that's a better term, still. Get it? All right? It's still, it's 静, it's unperturbed. 如如不动, right? Same idea, unperturbed, unmoving. But once it stirs up, then it creates all this. Okay? Then that means we have what? Like a wave. It creates a wave, a current. Understand? Okay? So that's more in depth. Okay, guys? So that's the more a little bit in depth analysis. Okay? All right. So let's go to the next line. What's that? 暗喻训文理, right? That means, this means, you can say it's the metaphor within the scripture, right? Okay. Now this scripture, 三山坡, anybody remember what this was? We talked about it way back during the 10 sermons of God, or 10 admonitions of God. He talked about it in, I think it's in the first one. Is it the first sermon? I think it's the first sermon.
Also in the fifth.
Okay, well, yeah, I know the first one God talked about it. That, remember, God kind of like tricked us, right? Because we used to be able to, God sent us, God created the world, the phenomenal world, but then God needed humans to kind of like manage the world or whatever, right? Inhabit. So he sent us there, right? So we went. But then we didn't like it there, so we all came back, right? So right, remember that's the story anyway, okay? And then so this keeps happening. So God said, well, you can't do that. So He made us drink that, whatever. He gave us some water, I mean some kind of wine or something, I don't know, whatever. Soup, they say it's a soup, okay? The literal translation and then we fell asleep, right? Right? 什么混迷汤? Yeah, 迷魂汤. Yeah. Intoxicating soup or something like that. Got us all wasted, drunk. And then we fell asleep. And then when we woke up, and it was at this place. It took place at this place called the 3 Mountain Slope. Literally, that's the translation. And that's where God took away our what? Saintly, literally shoes, it's called what? Cloud hopping shoes and something, right? I forgot that there's a term for it. I forgot. Yeah, something cloud hopping shoes and something clothes or wings or something. I forgot. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So it just means that we lost the ability to come to travel back to the absolute realm, at will. Okay, we lost that ability. Now, okay, so that's the story. Okay, so that's what's up. So the three mountain slope is you can say it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. That's what it says. It's an 暗喻, right? It's a metaphor. And now some people say it's a symbolism of three poisons. Okay, you can say that because with the three poisons, we will no longer have the ability to return back to our home, original home. Yeah, because we have what? Greed, ignorance, greed, and anger, right? Or rage, whatever, right? Right? Is it pertinent to this? To this?
Relevant.
Okay.
I mean, because you're dealing with the issue if you lost something, right? As far as dealing with the three mountain slope and dealing with...
To lose something? To lose something?
You lost something. What you're saying? God took the...
No, well, yeah, that's the story. But I think it's all metaphorical. Okay. What really is yeah, it's a symbol that as long as even though we can we say, oh yeah, we received the Tao, we know the first treasure, etc. And we do, we don't do bad things. We're reasonably good. Okay. It's like cultivate. We can go back to absolute heaven. That's absolutely true. However, if we have not attained the status or the level of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, right? Anodoro Samyak Samputi or Wu Sang Zhen Den Zhen Jue. Okay, that's Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Unless we attain that level, we cannot stay up there forever. That's the important thing. Okay.
I have a difficult question. And, when you talk about the issue of like the ratio as far as dealing with not being enough people to teach it and explain and understand Tao. And, it's just been bothering me for the last, couple of minutes as far as dealing with the issue of how would you have a harmonious state, meaning that you have agreement between everybody on how you would explain that receiving Tao is important for Christians.
Yeah. Okay. I will leave that topic out of this for now because this is more. We're talking about this. Yours is it's a good question, but it's more on the practical side. Okay. It's basically on how do we spread the teaching so that more people can hear about it and have but that's a totally different issue. It's important, but it's totally different. All right, from this thing, and there are different aspects to that question. To answer that question.
It's one thing, but it's relevant as far as this understanding. Okay.
Yeah, it's there.
We don't want clashes or fights in the issue of receiving Tao.
No. But here's the thing. There are a lot of reasons. There are a lot of or variables or factors when we consider that, because I've encountered people who are so dogmatic. Either they are either Christians, Muslims, or whoever. Okay, even Buddhists, even the Mahayana Buddhists.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't. They just are so outright, so dogmatic. That's for lack of a better term, rigid. You can say rigid in their own doctrines, teachings, that they just cannot accept the notion that you can receive the three treasures and then you can transcend samsara. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, for example, in the case of Christians, they say this is your heresy, you're heretic because only Jesus can give us salvation. So if you don't believe in Jesus, you're gonna go to hell. Et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
There's a way of doing it, and that's why it's just been I think as far as dealing with, that's why I say a cohesive and understanding of how we can work together to do so.
Yeah. But there are a lot of reasons, right? I mean, yeah.
It's not that different.
Yeah. This is kind of off topic from here, so let's not. Yeah.
Can we ask
So-
that
so-
question after
Yeah.
class?
Well, or we discuss it some other time. Outside this class topic. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. Okay. So, all right. Okay.
We have a question.
Yeah.
334
Uh-huh.
is referring to 三系. That's from what I.
It could. Yeah, it could. It could. It could. It could. Yeah. It could. Yeah.
We can't go back to where we were.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you connect the two, you could say with that initial, we have the stirring of the
Right.
mind or whatever, or the from our essence, then we end up. Yeah. I mean, you could do that. Then there's another way to explain is that it's those. Now that we are going to enter or remain or enter the realms of the three realms, okay, which is samsara, right? Which is we know what the three realms are, right? The realm of desire, realm of forms, and realm of formlessness, right? We talked about that earlier this year in the 10 Dharma realms, right? Okay, or they call it the triple realm, triple world. That's another term, right? So that's all samsara, those three realms, okay? The 6 paths of reincarnation is in the realm of desire, okay, or world of desire, however you want to call it, okay? The 6 paths, 六道, the 6 paths, all that is in the realm of desire, okay? All right. So it's in that list that we have. It's in here. It's in this thing, right? It's in this thing, okay? All right. We talked about it, okay? All right. So that means once we enter the 6 paths, or the realm of the 3 realms, we're in samsara. We're not going to be able to go back, right? Okay. So God is saying that it's not because He's not, He doesn't love us and took away our shoes and clothes. It's not because of that, okay? It's rather it's what? All based on our own doing, or it's all, you can say it's our own fault, okay? Because we were ignorant, okay? We have ignorance. So you can say, yeah, it's part of the 3 poisons too, right? That 3 poisons that we had, ignorance is one of them, right? Right? It's the 3rd poison, or right? Okay. So because of that, we kind of like deviated from our Buddha nature. So we departed, or we forgot about our Buddha nature. Okay? So that's why once we deviated or we forgot our Buddha nature, then that means, what does that result in? Samsara, right? Okay, we will end up in, endless reincarnation, right? Okay, all right. So now, this is because this is addressing the Dharma class. Holy Teacher is saying, but now that you realize or you know what the principles are, right? The principles of the Tao in this case, okay? The principles of the Tao, okay? We should not be lost again. In other words, we should not continue down the paths of reincarnation, samsara, etc. Okay? Because now we know, right? We already received that one, right? That first treasure, right? Okay? Not received, but we know about it. Okay? Okay, so then going forward, now, to not become lost again, right? And to understand more about the Tao, to really understand more deeply the principles of Tao, we have to cultivate, right? With you can say aspiration, determination, or will, right? That will never change or never deviate, okay? Okay? All right? Okay, so we should, that's what Holy Teacher is encouraging us, all right? That now you know, right? Now you have the first treasure, now you know what the principles are, right? Then He's encouraging us to continue to forge ahead, all right? Okay, and then now this one is 可, that means 可 is it may be or could be, right? 随时随地, that means, yeah, it literally means anytime, anywhere, anytime, any place. Literally, that's what it means. Or every time, everywhere. It just means in the moment, okay? At the moment. You can say at the moment, okay? At the moment, okay? 于当除. Okay. Yeah. It just means anytime, anything, something. Yeah, same thing. Anytime or always. Okay. We cannot deviate. Okay. Or depart from it. Okay. So never depart from the moment. You can say that. Okay. Because the moment implies what? Enlightened state. Okay. We are enlightened because it takes just an instant to become enlightened. You know that? People say, oh, no, I have to meditate forever, for 10 lifetimes before I can be enlightened, right? Some people say that, right? Okay, so that's not really true, okay? That's not, you can, okay? You can, all right? And also, this, okay, so besides just enlightenment, it also represents that's a very narrow, okay, a narrow interpretation. But the broader one is, this is very similar to, in the Doctrine of the Ming, right? The first chapter, it's 道也者, right? 不可虚与离也, right? 可离也非道也, right? Okay, so that's the second set paragraph, chapter 1, okay, of Doctrine of the Ming. Basically, it just says, a person of the Tao, right, could not depart from it, okay, could not deviate. You can say cannot deviate from that path, from the Tao, okay, path. If one could deviate from it, it's not the path, okay. It's not, in other words, it's not the true way, okay. So that's basically another way of.
There's Tao in every moment.
Yeah. But we have to know what is, because the Tao is everywhere. Actually, you can say that, but we have to know that. We have to understand that. We tend to think of. There is, once again, this duality again, this subject-object, right? There's me, and then there's you, then there's everything else, right? It's all distinct. It's all separate, right? There's a me, and then there's a you, right? Actually, that's not the Tao, because that's dualism, right? Okay, the Tao is all is one, okay? That's from Avantasaka Sutra, by the way. Okay, all is one, Hua Yan Jing, okay? All is one is all. Who? That's very deep, okay? But that's okay, all right? So that's what it means in the moment is. You can say that, all right? All is one is all. That's okay? All right, okay. Now, the next one is, right, this is Yi, right? Why Ni, right? Why Ni means to search outwards, okay? 向外 Ni, right? Okay, so it is not, so 非是, that means it is not. Okay, when we're talking about the cultivation here, right? Cultivation, it's not cultivation. You can say it's not to seek outward things or look outward, focus outwardly. Okay, the whole thing is basically in order to the way basically Holy Teacher is trying to tell us how do we cultivate, right? It's not to do things for outward appearance or anything. Okay, to seek outwardly, okay? Seek what? Fame, fortune, all of that, okay? Status, all that, okay? But rather, it's... Right. The Buddha's within, right? Yeah, okay. So, 回光返照息, right? It's what? All about self-reflection or reflecting inwards, okay? Inward introspection, etc. All right? Okay? Because why? The Buddha's within us. Okay, that's all we need. Okay, it's innate, it's self-sufficient, etc. Okay, it's all that. Okay, so all right, so and then then the next line is it's a little bit more detail also. I mean, it's further continuing the same line of thought. Basically, 心念 means our mind. Yeah, our thoughts, our mind. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it does mean, literally does not mean, it means do not go wild. Do not have those endless wild thoughts. Okay. All right. That's what it means. I mean, literally, that's what it means. Okay. And in Buddhism, that there's a term 不放密, right? 不放, yeah. Okay. 不放逸, right? That term means to concentrate the mind and will on the good in order to prevent the rise of evil. That's really that specific phrase. That's what it means too. All right. So that means, if we can prevent our mind from, or not have our mind run wild, we can focus, right? We can focus, right, on the good to prevent evil from arising. Actually, this is to be more technical, this is part of the, you guys know what the 4 proper efforts, diligent efforts? It's part of that, you know that? It's part of that, right? It's part of the 4, it's the 4 efforts, it's what is it? It's to, what is it called? There's a term for it. It's to prevent evil that has not yet arisen. Okay, that's one of them. The four.
Consolidate and increase existing
Yeah,
good.
to eliminate existing evil, or to 未生恶念恶灵不生. Okay, 未生 that means future, hasn't arrived, right? Hasn't arisen. 恶灵不生. Okay, that's part of that. Okay, actually they say, to be not technical, they say they're like 50, part of the 50 or 50 something, I forgot. There are 50 bad thoughts or whatever. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Yeah, prevent evil or unwholesome qualities not yet risen. Okay, that's the 4th one, the 4 proper efforts. Okay, 四精进. Okay, okay. Yeah, 四正气. Yeah, 四正勤. Yeah, 四正勤. The 4 proper efforts. Okay, so if we could do that, then we could you can say, put an end. Yeah, stop. What can I say? Stop. 止息, right? Means 当止息, immediately put an end to our delusional thoughts. Okay? If we could do that, right? Okay? So if you want to be more technical, that's part of that 4 proper, okay, efforts. All right? Okay? All right? More detail. Okay? All right. So further, we should not, what? Literally, this could mean indulge in, right? Or wallow in, right? Right? 生溺, right? 沉溺, right? Okay, so we should not be, you can say attached to, right? Be attached to all forms, okay? Forms and shape, and tangible forms or intangible forms, okay? It doesn't matter, right? 在形象, right? 形象 means all forms, all phenomena. We should not wallow in it. We should not, indulge in them, okay? Only by not indulging, then if we indulge in it, then how can we return back to the absolute realm, or Dharma Dhatu, okay? Dharma Dhatu, that's another term. Or 先天, you could say 先天, 理天, same idea. 先天, 无极, right? 无极 literally means absolute realm, okay? Which is what? 先天, 理天, Dharma Dhatu, etc., all right? Okay, 就境界, okay, absolute realm, all right, absolute, okay? So we cannot indulge in forms, we cannot wallow, we cannot become attached to them, okay? All right, and here's the reason, because once we indulge in things, right, then there's like I said, remember, a subject-object duality, and that's what it is right here. We once create, then we will create, or establish, you can say establish, create subject-object duality. Dualism, basically duality, okay? And once that duality is formed, yeah, you can say it's created or established, then what? Life and death will confront us. We will see face to face. We will see, okay? That's what literally this means. 相负, right? 相避, yeah, 相避. Okay? So we'll come to face. Face life and death. Why? Because remember, there's duality, right? And what's duality mean? There's a beginning and end, i.e. life and death, right? Okay? So, all right? So I'm almost done, all right? Okay, so 执心, right? 应警戒, yeah, that means we have to literally, yeah, you can say hold fast to, yeah, abide by, right? Strictly adhere to, you can say that. Our straight mind. But what's a straight mind? Straight mind is basically our true nature, okay? That's the Surangama Sutra, right? 直心, right? 常住直心. That's a very four important key phrase in Surin Gang Sutra. It's found throughout Surin Gang Sutra. Okay? All right. Okay? All right. And then we have to what? Never abandon, right? To, right? Don't do E means to, yeah, you can say abandon. No, yeah. Yeah, leave behind, to abandon, to leave behind, to lose something. So we should never abandon, right? Never abandon our what? True faith. You can say our, proper true faith. Basically, it's our faith of what? That we have a Buddha nature, all right? We should not abandon that, okay? We should not lose hope, okay? All right, okay. And then this one means, the next phrase is basically plant deeply, right? Plant deeply the Tao root, basically you can say that, or the root of virtue, sorry, the virtuous root, which is the Tao root, okay? And then we can, what? We can, with determination, this means, right? This means very determined. Jian Yi means very determined. With resolution, we can what? Get rid of bad habits. Okay, 恶习, that means bad habits. Okay, 习 is habits. Okay, 习惯的习, right? Okay, and then literally here, next sentence, 邪曲, that means literally means evil and crooked or perverse and crooked, right? Then we must avoid it. Okay, we must avoid it at all costs. Yeah, that's another way of saying, okay? And then if we have what? Self-awareness, then we won't deceive ourselves, okay? All right? We won't be fooled, you can say. In other ways, we won't be fooled, okay? Almost there, okay? So then 脱空了, right? 脱空了. You can say 脱空了. It means, we don't, you can say, another way is saying, we say unbridled, but you can say not dependent, right? Okay, not relying upon it, okay, upon the Sanji. What's the Sanji? You translate as three domains. It's really the three minds. It's the Sanxing, okay? So that refers to that, remember the God's instruction, right? Sanxing, no, is it Sanxing Buyo? Isn't it?
Yeah, 三心不有。
Sanxing Buyo, yeah. 三际 is 三心 too. It's 三际, yeah, 三心 heart, mind, heart, mind. Yeah, 三心不有, okay? Yeah, mind, three minds of the past, present, and future, okay? And also, then the five skandhas will not accumulate, okay? All right, the five skandhas. Anybody know what the five skandhas are? Never mind. We have it. We know it. Okay, we don't. Because it's the five skandhas that is the false. That is really the five knots. 6 knots. 六节, right? Is this the 6 knots? Yeah, has to do with the 6 knots, and that's what binds us to samsara. Okay, but that's okay. Okay, so therefore we should not accumulate, because the more we accumulate, the more likely we're gonna still what? Create karma. All right? Okay? So, and then 一片真诚意, right? 付出乃可期, right? That means, with utmost sincerity, deepest sincerity, we can expect to restore our original self, right? 诚心如神, right? 应该是至诚如神. That's an analects, right? It means I think it's an analects. Oh, maybe doctrine of the Ming, yeah. That we can restore our original nature, okay? Our innate nature. Our deepest sincerity, okay? Deepest faith, deepest sincerity. And then regardless whether it's favorable or unfavorable, right? 顺而逆, right? 于逆. That means no matter, okay, whether our circumstances or situations are favorable or unfavorable or adverse, right? They are all golden opportunities, okay? They are all good opportunities. Because that's why? Because favorable and unfavorable are all because of karma. Right? All right? That's because of karma. But there are still opportunities, right? Okay? So, 尽全心全力, that means put our utmost effort or best effort to what? Lay the 奠基 means foundation. Lay the foundation for achieving Buddhahood or becoming Buddha. Okay? All right. Thank you. I know there are a lot of things I have said that maybe I did not say completely well. I ask for the Buddha's forgiveness. Okay? Thank you.